Good morning.
With us this morning, we have a very special guest back for her second time on Broadway Radio's This Week on Broadway is Jessie Mueller. Jessie, thank you so much for getting up on a Sunday morning and talking with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I was about to say, should I say morning? When are you playing this? Do we need?
Well, it plays
it
plays all over the world over the next week, so people can listen to it at many different times during the day. So we never really know. So we try to be time neutral and things like that.
Time neutral. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Exactly.
Just covered it all.
So I was very concerned, and we really wanted to get you back on because last time that you were on was February 24th, 2013, and you were doing the Carousel concert for the Philharmonic.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's February 24th, so just a little bit more than 2 years ago, and nothing has really happened in your world, and I really want to make sure that you get some work because you're such a huge...
I hear, that FaceTime, ear time is important in that business, so I appreciate it.
You're a huge talent, and I don't know why nobody's casting you in anything.
Well, that's the biz.
That's the showbiz. That's right.
That's the showbiz.
So, oh my goodness gracious, you went from 0 to 100 million in just a matter of weeks right after we talked to you, and Beautiful became this huge breakout hit, and you won some awards or something that I heard.
Shiny things.
Like shiny things. Where do you keep your shiny things? We always ask people, where's your shiny things kept?
You know what? I was just sort of moving them the other day because I was trying to be good and I was trying to clean. So the Tony is in my bedroom right now, which is a little weird. I put it on my dresser because we have an office and I'm trying to actually get it to a place where it's functional. So I moved a lot of the things out. And I haven't seen the Grammy yet. I just signed some paperwork that said, please send it to some address, and they'll pick it up
your
somewhere.
Your doorman will get it.
Yeah, if I had one, he would. Yeah, I'll go pick it up from my agent's office. That's the plan.
That's great.
That's really wonderful. So you have a concert coming up at Carnegie Hall on April 18th, Saturday, April 18th. Tell us about that.
Well, we're very excited. This is the first time that I get to be a part of it, but this is the second or third year that they've done this, and it's sort of a new-ish initiative that they're doing that's also in tune with this Wild Music Institute that they've started at Carnegie Hall, and it's all about music education, and especially music education for young people. So the concert is geared toward young people and their families to come to Carnegie Hall, and it's going to be interactive, which is going to be really fun. The audience is going to be learning songs with us and dancing with us. We're going to be on the stage, in the house. It's going to be really fun.
Yes, and apparently some of the kids are going to get to go on stage at Carnegie and perform.
This is what I hear as well. Like, how cool would that be, right?
Thrilling.
Yeah.
So
you come as an audience member, and you end up getting to stand and sing at Carnegie Hall, on the Carnegie Hall stage.
Do you know what you're singing?
All kinds of stuff. We're doing, me specifically, I'm doing some stuff from The Sound of Music. I'm doing some stuff from Les Mis, some stuff from Beautiful. But we're also doing things from Grease and Hairspray, some dance stuff. So it kind of runs the gambit of all. It's a nice sort of exposure to a bunch of different musical theater and Broadway songs. And then the other element of it, too, is Leslie Stifelman, who's also the music director over at Chicago the Musical and conductor over there. She and her partner, Melissa Ray Mahone, are sort of, they headed this up with Tom Cabanis, and the whole idea is to also introduce kids to the different kind of jobs that are needed on Broadway. Like, we talk about music directors, we talk about choreographers, which is really interesting for kids too, because it sort of exposes them to some of those jobs that you don't necessarily see if you go see a Broadway show, but that are absolutely integral to how it all comes together.
That's fantastic, because obviously the focus is normally on the performers, which of course
right.
Where it should be, but
right.
yes,
Well, I mean,
all
it's
those
just
wonderful
the stuff you see, you know.
Yeah, Yeah.
In fact, when you were a
But we
little
couldn't do
girl,
what we do without all that other things. Pardon?
when you were a little girl, did you know you were going to be a performer? When did it hit you that this is something you wanted to do or were going to do?
I think I was exposed to it at a young age. Both of my parents are actors. I grew up in Chicago, and they were very active there in the theater community. And so I remember seeing shows when I was about 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it always had an appeal to me, and it was also what my parents did. So it was like, oh, that's what mommy and daddy do. That's a great thing. So, excuse me, but so I think at an early age, I thought this would be really great to do. And then I got a little bit older. I didn't really do any theater performing when I was little. It wasn't really till I got to high school that I started doing plays in my high school. That was just sort of the first opportunity. But then by the time sort of college rolled around, I still thought I wanted to do it, but I was very wary. I think by that point I'd kind of had a little bit of a reality check about maybe what a life in the business would be like.
Okay, in fact, did your parents...
I don't think that's ever stopped. that sort of doubt of, it's such a funny, sort of strange life choice, and I still to this day really applaud people who find a way to balance it well, because I think it's very, very tricky.
It is,
and I'm sure coming from me, that doesn't sound like much to a lot of people, because it probably seems like in the eyes of a lot of people, people would say I'm very successful, and I have had a great deal of success, and I'm very grateful for that. But there's the other side of it that I always know it can always end.
Well, having your parents in the business, and you've been able to see that.
In fact, were they encouraging or were they discouraging, knowing the realities of the business?
No, they were very encouraging. It's like I hesitate to say they were neutral, but there wasn't anything. I never remembered them sort of warning. My brothers and sisters also all act, and I never remember them sort of warning us against the pitfalls. Like I don't know if you really want to do this. It was they were realistic about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think from the sense that they know what it's like to do this and to feel the ups and downs, and I'm sure nobody wants that for their children. But when they saw that we all had a true interest in it and a drive for it, they have always been very, very supportive.
So you've been out of Beautiful for just a few weeks now. Mm-hmm. Do you find yourself not knowing what to do with your day?
Oh, totally. Oh, my gosh. I was so proud of myself the last couple of weeks. I was, doing really, really well.
Cleaning your room.
I was
setting up the office.
Waking up late, having coffee till 2. I was like, I'm going to watch television. You know what I mean? I watched, all of Nashville. I got obsessed. I did a couple concerts here and there with my friend Jared Spector, who's in Beautiful, and that was great. And then, it's so funny you say this, because, yes, in the last couple of days, I've kind of what am I doing with my life? Will it ever work again? So that's what I mean. I just don't think, I think it maybe, not that I have any grand sort
scheme.
I was like, why am I even, say my life thoughts about the business or what I do? Why does that matter? But it's like the things that give you the ability to do what an actor does sometimes make it very difficult to function in normal life. So yeah, it's a balancing act. But I got some laundry done yesterday. I was proud of myself.
Excellent.
That was useful.
Well, with the news in the last week or so that Beautiful's going to become a movie, is there anything in the back of your head that says I want to do that, or we just actually spoke to James Lapine last week, and I asked him if he wants to ever go back and do something, and he's like, no, I never want to go back. I only want to go forward. So is that something?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I'd love to, depending on what happens with it and what direction they're going with it, I think I'd love to at least get in the room and audition. I don't know. Yeah, but that's a funny question, right? It's like you sort of close a chapter on something, and what would it be like to sort of reopen it? I don't know.
Given the fact it took so long for Carole King to get involved and show up at the show, what was it like when you finally met her? Or did you meet her earlier on?
I'd met her once before.
Oh, okay.
We did the show. We did the show. It was also a surprise. So we did the show out of town in San Francisco, and then we came back to rehearse again in New York before we started previews in New York. And the first day we came back and went into to rehearsal when we got back to New York, she showed up at the rehearsal room, and nobody knew. I mean, maybe like a stage manager knew she was coming, but none of the cast knew. So we walked. I remember walking into the building behind Jared Spector. I saw him down the street, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna bum rush him, give him a hug." And I come into the vestibule by the elevators, and I swear, I was like, I saw the back of Carol's head, and I just knew. I saw the hair, and I was like, "Oh, I guess this is happening today." She was so cool. She was so cool, and she's been like that every subsequent time that I've had interactions with her. Just very open and warm, and it's been thrilling for everyone involved in the show to see how much she's always been behind it to a degree, and always in a way that I think was up to her, which is absolutely correct, and how she wanted to be connected with it, and how much she wanted to be sort of in the light of it all, you know what I mean? And but it's been so rewarding for everyone involved in the process to watch her like really become on board and just be all in, you know what I mean, after she saw it, and being with us at the Tonys, and, you know, going to the London opening. And it's great because it feels like the best affirmation we could get is that the woman whose story we were all telling, and they're still telling, you know what I mean, approves of it, basically. You know what I mean? Feels proud of it.
Sure.
So your sister Abby is in Kinky Boots.
Yeah.
You know, these siblings that are just locking up Broadway here. That's awesome. Can we look forward to maybe a 54 Below of Jessie and Abby?
You know what? It's funny you say that. We've actually been talking about that a lot. Doing these, I've been doing the concerts with my friend Jared Spector, like I said, and which has sort of opened me up to that world. He's been doing that for a while, and I've seen his solo shows, and I just think the world of him anyway. But he came to me and he was like, "Would you maybe want to do something together?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think so," because I'm scared to do it on my own at first, and so I feel like I've learned a lot from him doing that for, you know, the last month or so. And I was just talking to Abby the other day. I mean, we've always loved singing together, and we were like, we should do a show. So I also have a lot of respect for the work that goes into putting something like that together. So, but I think it's definitely something she and I are going to work on. You know what I mean? Just start getting together, start getting songs together that we love and want to sing. And because I think it could be a really cool. It could be a really cool show, a really kind of cool perspective to share with an audience, I think.
Are there any other Muellers that are performers?
Yeah, I have my brother Matt Mueller and my brother Andrew Mueller. They're both in Chicago right now. Andrew was here for a while with Peter and the Starcatcher when it went off Broadway. Yeah, he was here for almost like over a year, and Matt's been like all over the country and doing all kinds of shows and premieres of new shows and things like that. So knock on wood, we're all keeping busy, and
your parents have
we like it that way.
Your parents have absolutely nothing to talk about at dinner parties. Everybody's like, "Oh, there's some Muellers. Don't invite."
Yeah, they're like,
them.
"No, we don't know where our children are. They're somewhere."
they're like, that one won a Grammy and a Tony, and I can't invite them out anymore. You know.
Are you going to London to see Beautiful? Just out of curiosity.
Oh, I don't know. I think it would be cool, and I haven't been to London since I was like in high school, so it would be fun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They
Not
were
so
very
much. I
lucky.
think it'll run a nice long time, so I don't have to hurry over there. But
They were very lucky to have you. I think the
thank
show's
you.
terrific, and I think Doug McGrath did a very good job in telling a story that has been told many times. After all, rags to riches in show business, and yet he made us care about the people. But you brought to it that wonderful self-deprecating humor, that little laugh you used to give, made us all identify with you. That we all know what it's like to struggle when we're starting out and doing the best we can and hoping that it's going to work out. You really embody that so well, and you are certainly a great building block in their success, as good as the show is.
Yes.
oh well, thank you very much.
So, Jessie, thank you so much for joining us on a Sunday morning, especially after, your long run and
Oh no, my pleasure. Thanks, guys.
and you're taking it. So I want to remind listeners that you can catch up with Jessie on April 18th at Carnegie Hall at the family concert, and we'll have links to that in our show notes if you want to find out more information. Jessie, you have a wonderful time, and we will talk to you back again soon. Maybe you'll be a 3-time repeat list.
We love it.
Appearance.
We love
Alrighty.
it. Yeah, and come see us at Carnegie Hall.
All right, we'll speak to you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.